Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, first of all, I would like to talk about how we are promoting our motion to stop any type of strike and abolish them, because there are other methods and other ways that are better and more helpful to society. First, I would like to talk about some of the points the other team talked about. One of their points of information was how would they buy things if they didn't get more salary. Well, how are you going to give them more salary? First of all, if the economy isn't good enough for that time, and the company or the boss doesn't have enough money to give more money to everybody that's asking for it. So why are you going to strike for something that maybe you don't either necessarily deserve, or maybe the company doesn't have the money to give to them so they can have it? Second of all, what if there is no good work? And the first speaker also talked about how the people have more money to buy things. But how are they going to buy things if the company doesn't have money to work on those things and to make those products and goods? Then there's not going to be anything to sell if they're giving more salaries and higher wages to people. Another point that they talked about was that the strike could be in communicative ways. But what if it falls out of hand? What if the strike goes further and has violence and more things occur and worse things occur? You're not going to be able to put those things under order if it already falls out of order. If you give them the right to strike, then there's no limitations necessarily given to them, so they could go in further ways and there would be more damage to society. Another thing that they talked about was their needs. What people have needs, and if there's not enough money to pay for them, no thank you. If there's a company or a boss doesn't have enough money to pay people for things, then they're taking their own needs away also. And it's not, no thank you. No thank you. And society also has their demands, and it's also about the economic crisis that's going on right now in the world, and that doesn't give the opportunity and the chance for people to risk and waste time on strike. No thank you. And wasting this time wanting more and asking for more when there isn't time enough that they can wait. Another thing that they talk about was the unsafe means and the unsafe methods in the mines. Well, it is also the government's right to give people their protection and to give them helmets or ways to protect themselves if they're going to be working in mines. And the other way, there are other methods of achieving change, of achieving goals. Communicating is one of them, but strikes aren't always going to be communicating. Strikes are going to stop and cause public damage. Strikes are going to cause slowing down to society, whether it's on streets, whether it is a company that is slowing down, whether it is jobs that are slowing down. And the society and people in the government and the world cannot afford to waste that time on strikes, because they need to gain this money and they need to be producing more. Going on to my first argument, I would like to talk about the social conflicts that will go on if strikes are permitted. There will be a lot of goods and services lost. Many consumer goods are going to be lost if people stop working to do these strikes. Whether it is food, whether it is technology, or whether it is another type of good. Whether it is, for example, if a car company is allied with a metal company, and that company, people stop working there, then they will have metals to give to the company to make cars. And if the company doesn't make cars, then the people are affected. The consumers are affected. Yes, sir.
So, but we're not affecting the consumers. You're willing to let people get minimum wages, not get vacations?
Well, vacations aren't always the best choice. If you need more things, if you need to be gaining more money, that doesn't mean that they don't have any vacations, or no thank you, or that they're taking away from them. But it means that they're asking for more and that they're asking for things that they already have. When there is not enough time given, or when there is not enough things that are going on right now that will permit this to happen, or will permit more and advances. If people want to progress, and if people want more, first they have to give more before asking for receiving or getting something in return. You have to give to be able to get something back. You have to work hard to be able to get better wages. But if society right now doesn't have the money, doesn't have the money to be able to give to those people, then those people, even if they're asking for more, they won't be given more, not because the company necessarily doesn't want to give them, because they don't have the money to give them. Another thing, when the first from the competition talked about the movies and the strikes. Well, this is also affecting the public and the audience, that they don't have the entertainment, and they don't have things to watch because of these type of strikes. And this, and this will cause harm on their entertainment. And it is a circle of damage, because if it harms the person that's taking the risk to get out of the job to strike, it's going to affect that person. No, thank you. Not only is it going to affect that person, but it will affect the company or the organization. It will affect the people that are allied to that company or organization, and it will affect the consumer as well. So it is a cycle of damage. It is a cycle that will not help and benefit society. Going on to my other argument is the violence that happens and can go on in strikes. There are deaths caused. There are injuries. There's a lot of trashing going on that can happen. Like in Oaxaca, for example, teachers trashed the schools. And it was so bad that it caused cultural events to be suspended. And this harms the society because it is a cultural event and they have traditional values in that place as well. So if you're taking their traditional values away because the strike caused that, then it is not only affecting the person that wants something from there, but it is affecting society and everyone around it itself. Also, the public damage that it can cause streets to slow down, it will cause companies to slow down, it will mean less wages for the company, for the country, and for the society and the world itself. This will slow down things, and it will harm things that are going on instead of being able to improve. If people want to improve, then you have to take the step forward instead of taking the step back and asking for more when there isn't a more at the moment. Yes.
So asking for decent wages is taking a step back?
It's not asking for a decent wage. If they're asking for more and there isn't a chance for someone to give them more at the moment because of an economical crisis or because there isn't the money or the time for them to have that. You have to remember that there are economic costs around this. There are various social costs and conflicts that will be caused and that people will be damaged and will be harmed because of the strikes that will go on. There will be violent strikes. You don't know the limits or the limitations that are given in these strikes. So if they go ahead and go forward for them, they will fight for more and they will go ahead of themselves to get what they want. And this will cause a chaos. This will cause a bad and a harmful situation, not only for that person, but for everyone around them. So sometimes it is better that people get affected if it is only one person than it has to harm everybody else in society. So this is why I believe that the motion should stand. Thank you.